This is Duke University.
And here he is, Sasaki-san.
総務部の大連に移す計画が本割になりました。はい。佐々木さんが総務課長として立派にやってこられたのは知っています。それで佐々木さん、今後総務を離れて何やりますか？あなたができることは何ですか？自分で見つけてください。我が社たったに何を提供してくれますか？自由ですよ。みんなで最大限の能力を発揮していただくか、それともここを去っていただくか。
さっきの空調の見積もり点ですが、それで、僕は一括で内田システムさんにお願いすることで考えたいんですが、課長どう思いますか？それ、はい、それ、はい。
So he's going to look for work.
勤務時間は、夜中の12時から朝の9時まで。工場の経理なんですが、まあこれまで一度も強盗や盗みのなかったところですから、その点は安心でしょう。佐々木さん、管理職はどうです？
どちらかというとそういう方が。
私はこれ佐々木さんに適任かもしれないな。
よろしくお願いします。
ハッピーマートの店長です。月から金までで7時スタートの15時上がり、時給が850円。
お渡しした書類にも書いてあると思うんですが、私これでも以前タニタの総務課長でした。
佐々木さん、申し上げにくいんですが、以前と同じ条件というのは 100% ありえません。
お待たせいたしました。受付番号87。
Well, the next scene is where he's taking this job cleaning in a shopping mall.
就業時間のご希望はお任せします。
This where he's
じゃあいつから始められます？いつからでも。
okay here, yeah.
This is in public, this corridor. There's not a locker room, so there's the indignity of changing in this thoroughfare.
At the end of the scene, after the guy has been telling him, you know, you have to do this, and a lot of it is cleaning, including cleaning toilets. At the end of his shift, they go into the bathroom to change into their clothes, and he and the other guy both walk out with their suits. and their briefcases. So the other guy who's been instructing him is like him, a former Sarariman. So do you want to say anything about the analysis of that film? Or, I mean, in the article that you write, you see this film is also kind of capturing the angst and the kind of the flavor of the times in Japan right now. So do you want to say anything else about that?
Well, I think what you see is the unraveling of a particular bargain that's been made with the middle class, in that when his office manager, his boss, asks him what kind of skills he has, because he can no longer continue doing the job he does. And you see just before that, quite deliberately, whether this is entirely a reflection of reality or not is something else, but the Japanese look like sort of completely hapless, rather soft losers, whereas the Chinese are sort of brimming with energy and sort of ready to take over. And when he's asked what he can do, what his skills are, he's completely perplexed, because that's not a question he was ever asked in his life before. I mean, to be a salaryman is to be a desk man and not to have any special skills. In fact, the successful salarymen, I mean, and in that sense, Japan is no different probably from any other country. The successful corporate man is often successful because he doesn't stand out for any reason, either by being horribly incompetent or too competent. Right. And the deal made with the middle class really, after a period of great political turbulence in the 50s and 60s, was a deal that, in my view, is also being struck in China today, which is to buy off the middle class. And the deal is basically, we'll create the order and conditions for you to get more and more prosperous, but you stay out of politics, no more demonstrations, none of that. You sit at your desk, you do your job, and you'll have a nice middle class life. And people like this salaryman and his father stuck to that deal. But because the economy is no longer booming, because prosperity can no longer be guaranteed to that extent, many of these people are now being laid off. And that was not part of the bargain. And so you see a whole kind of post-war order slowly unraveling. And when we talk about sort of radical decline of the Japanese economy, I mean, walking through Tokyo, you wouldn't get the impression of a place in radical decline. I mean, it's still very wealthy and buildings are still going up and so on. It's a relative decline, but the decline is bad enough that particular political arrangement, in other words, acquiescence, obedience in exchange for middle-class prosperity is a thing of the past. And we talked about this in Anne's office before. In Japan, there is much more hope than in other countries, because at least the Japanese, the middle class in particular, faced with a situation like this, could vote the rascals out, which they've done. The one party, the de facto conservative party state has been broken, partly because this deal collapsed. In a future China, if it continues the way it is now, a future middle class in China will probably not have that option.
Produced by Duke University. Online at duke.edu.